What's up, Facebook, YouTube, everybody in between? Because apparently I get searched for on DuckDuckGo now. But anyway, we'll give a shout out to Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse, the Kenosha kid himself, because he just got proven innocent today by a unanimous jury vote. 12 people that didn't know what they were going to be voting on, because you're not allowed to know, selected at random based on however Wisconsin selects their jury. They were sequestered for a week, meaning they had no contact with the outside. They had a blacked out bus they were riding around. They had people following them. Apparently MSNBC tried to follow them, and the whatever law enforcement was guarding them was like, no, you're not doing that. But anyway, and the judge barred them from the courtroom. That's the funny part. I mean, I don't have the ability to share screens like that, share videos on my cell phone, or I'd show you. But anyway, for y'all that ain't seen that footage, the judge ripped the prosecutor a new asshole because he kept trying to introduce some bullshit evidence that didn't have nothing to do with the actual events. If you use logic, law logic, and this is what happened, this is why it happened, this is who did what, from the moment the first shot was fired and a few seconds before, which is how they usually do, you know, what led up to that first shot being fired, you know, then the evidence that the prosecutor was trying to put in didn't have anything to do with it, and the judge disallowed it. He kept trying to put that shit in there. I think he botched the trial on purpose. He got as close as he could possibly get to a mistrial, because if, and this is military and civilian alike, if you don't do your job to the best of your ability, prosecuting or defending, no matter how you personally feel, then you yourself can be prosecuted for that offense, for malpractice. But anyway, he was dancing with mistrial the whole time. He was trying too hard. But they finally proved him innocent. 12 votes, I think it was, unanimous. All of them voted innocent on 4 different counts, even though it was the same event. You know, he had different counts against different, I guess a safe word to use would be transgressors, because you obviously couldn't use suspects because they were for the prosecution and they weren't suspect in any crime at that time. They may be now. But the judge wouldn't allow the use of the word victim either, because wasn't none of them victims. Come on. They were attackers. All right. Now, I don't get why people keep trying to throw race into it. Yeah, the riot itself was about people thinking that the entire police force is racist, which is not. I mean, you can have good people, you can have bad people, you can have good cops, you can have bad cops. You can have good people who are bad cops, just like you can have bad people that are good cops. And it's the same thing in every profession. Soldier, doctor, lawyer. They might not be a bad person, but they might be a bad at whatever they do. You know? And they were trying to ream everybody involved with that, thinking that the cop that shot Jacob Blake was a bad person. And I don't know the guy. You don't know the guy. He don't know the guy. He might have been an upstanding church going, can't hate nobody like me type of person. I don't hate people. I hate their choices. I choose to hate their choices instead of the person. because of my past. And anyway, he might have just been a bad cop, but that's a whole different issue. I got a video on that. That's what the riot was about, for anybody who's not up to date. Now, Kyle was there at first, cleaning up graffiti and giving first aid and doing the best he knew how to do to help. And then he was contacted later by some business owners that needed help guarding their places. Because, and yeah, I'm going to use the word idiot, because these people were fucking idiots out there. Half of them wasn't even there for the cause. Half of them were there for the result. All right. They were there because they heard the thunder and waited for the flash. All right. They went there under the cover of the riot. If there's a riot going on, police can't react to you individually. So you basically get to do what the fuck you want to do. Which in their case was loot, pillage, damage, potentially rape, but they didn't. I don't think. And hurt people. And innocent people and their livelihoods. Alright. Well, that's their property. It can be replaced. Fuck you. Okay? Take this example into account. Alright? For those of y'all that know me personally, you know my dad just died. And he didn't leave me a big bunch, but he left me a pretty good chunk. And just enough to buy an old used cop car, an old used truck, a gun or two, and 3D printer and a regular printer and a nice computer, you know. It wasn't a whole hell of a lot. Neighbors. But anyway, what if I'd have took that money and rented out a building and started a business? I wanted to, but my idea failed. Yep, kind of fell flat on its face. But if I didn't try, I'd have been forever. Why didn't I do it? But anyway, if I had rented a building and got some merchandise and been running the business for 10 years, I don't know how to do anything else but that at that point. And somebody comes through, smashes my window, steals all my guns, burns my business to the ground, I'm screwed. And I didn't have shit to do with none of that. I'm not the one that popped Jacob Blake in the back 9 times at point blank range, had a hold of the man's shirt. You didn't have to do all that, but he didn't have to do what he did either. He shouldn't have never been there, but like I said, I got a whole nother video on that. Check it out. If it'll still play. Neighbors again coming out the store. But anyway, I'm not the one that did that. So why should I be punished? I'm innocent in that. I'm not innocent, but I'm innocent in that. Why should I be punished? Why should my cashier be punished? Why should my stock boy be punished? Or stock girl? Right? They didn't have anything to do with it. So why attack my business? If I had a business up there, which I don't, but, you know. And, frankly, I'd be out there protecting my shit. You know, I wouldn't need Kyle to do it. I'd be like, hey, cuz, hey, step bro, hey, come on, I need you. You know, and we'd be out there, camped out in the building with a sign out front that says, I pity the fool. But anyway, that's what was going on. That's why he was there. Because I didn't even know this until I watched the trial footage And I knew he was innocent from the start. So what? He was there. There were people that were bussed in from other states, like 2 or 3 states over. Hell, there was a whole busload of damn MFAC and Black Lives Matter riding around stirring up shit. They know because people like me and people like Kyle turned them around when they came into certain small towns. I didn't personally do it, but I would have if I'd have known about it if it came around here. And with no violence there, they just stood out there, leaned up against their cars with their ARs on their chest and their body armor. Some of them didn't even have that. They were just standing there, just talking. Bus rode through. Everybody on the bus, they're like, "Fuck this!" And some of them got out and peacefully protested. Others got out of the bus, went and got a snack, something to drink, got back on the bus, and that bus turned around and left. But then, of course, you got the rooftop Koreans. Look that up. I didn't have to watch it. I don't think I watched. I might have watched it, but it was like a year ago. But anyway, I'm rambling. Basically, me and mine would have been out there too. All right. Protecting our shit. Not engaging with anybody unless they came on the property, but protecting our shit. Now, what's that got to do with Kyle? Well, they like to throw up that he crossed state lines with a gun. Wrong, and so what? One, I don't know this because I'm not privy to their personal lives, but it looks like his mom and daddy broke up and she may or may not have had custody of him. And they only lived like 20 or 30 minutes across the line away from Kenosha. They lived in Antioch, I think it was. And on the map, that's like the next county over. Okay? So what? Around here in Alabama, small town Alabama, I almost have to go to the next county to go to work every day. If I were to go to Walmart, the nearest Walmart in any direction, but fuck Walmart, I'm not going. I'm just throwing that out there. If I want to go to a Walmart, I got to cross county lines. If I want to go to a decent bar, I got to cross county lines. All right. If I want to go anywhere and have some fun, I got to cross county lines. Pretty much. I live in Clay County, but I have business in Wedowee, which is in, what is that, Randolph County? Mm-hmm. I have business in Oxford, which is in Calhoun County. Every now and then I go to Talladega, which is in Talladega County. Because of my area, I have business in all the surrounding areas. I have an interest in that area. That counts as my community. I have friends and family in that area. Just like his daddy, Kyle's daddy, lived in Kenosha. His daddy that he lived with off and on. All his friends, or a good portion of them, were in Kenosha. His job was in Kenosha. Yeah, he had business in Kenosha. A lot of it. And it wasn't that far. Now, as far as the rifle goes, it's debatable whether it crossed state lines or not. It might have been stored at his dad's house or his friend's house. That's up for debate. I don't know. I don't remember that detail. I know he's got pictures of him shooting it, but whose house was he at? Plus, Facebook pulled the profile. fucking Comrade Zuckerberg. But anyway, so his business in Kenosha is established. All right, that's off the books. The rifle, apparently, Wisconsin has a barrel length law, which is apparently unique, because here in Alabama, you're allowed to possess a shotgun and a long-barreled rifle, or a rifle of certain inches, anyway, as young as, I think it's 14 or 16. Probably the same up there, except for the rifle length thing. I'll have to look that up. But first thing the judge did was the rifle length legal? And the prosecutor answered him, yes, sir. It was long enough, just barely, for him to have. So they threw that out right off the top. That was the only thing keeping them from getting self-defense. If it had been for that, that would have been using a firearm during the act of a felony, which would have thrown self-defense out. But anyway, it didn't. Now, on to the individual charges. Here's why the whole shit started. All right. He's out there cleaning up, doing his civic duty, giving out first aid. He didn't even have his gun on him earlier that day. It was stored somewhere, I assume. And he didn't pull that out until the violence started. And he took up his post. Now, Rosenbaum, or Rosie, decided he wants to threaten them. And he's over there throwing out threats, talking about, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm like, okay. And at that point, the boy was unarmed. Later, when the boy was armed, when Kyle was armed, Rosenbaum, idiot number 3, and maybe even idiot number 2, lit a dumpster on fire and were pushing it toward a gas station or a police line. One of the two, because you could see police lights reflecting off the buildings. They were close to a police line and a gas station. And Kyle comes running out of nowhere with the gas station fire extinguisher and puts the dumpster out and pissed off the people that were pushing it. That's what started the whole thing. He put out a fire that they started. Rosie's stupid ass, he comes over there to the gas station where Kyle done retreated back to. He starts running back and forth. So, you gonna shoot me, nigga? You gonna shoot me, nigga? White dude talking like that. They were all white, by the way. Why is there a race involved in this? You shoot me, nigga. And by the way, guess who the first one was that got shot? Yeah. And anyway, so Kyle starts getting his shit together. He straps on his AR at that point and puts the fire extinguisher back where he found it. He's looking for an out. He can't go backwards because they already cut him off that way. The only thing he can do is juke around his friends that were protecting him at the time, because the crowd was starting to come where he was at and they were going to be overwhelmed in a minute. And that's what he did. He ran off into the car lot because it was dark over there, where the idiots that smashed streetlights the day before and burnt cars. Well, he gets over there and Rosie's chasing him. Keep in mind, Kyle's 17, Rosie's like 30-something. I don't know his exact age, but he looked 30-something. But anyway, old enough to totally fuck him up if he wanted to. if you ever caught up with him. And he had a bag of something, I think a water bottle in it, which if you've ever been hit with a water bottle, they hurt. Especially when it's hot and the air has already expanded inside that bottle and pressurized it. And it was hot that night. So that bottle was, if it had been drank out of, if it was filled up with cold water, cold air came into the bottle while the lid was off. It doesn't matter if you drank out of it or not. That just makes it worse. So cold air is more dense, and when it gets hot, it expands. Well, now the bottle is and expanded out tight. So it's going to hurt when it hits. Be like a brick hitting you in the back of the head. Especially when he slung it like a melee. Or like a mace. And if you ever see a water bottle hit something so hard that it busts, that's like being hit upside the head with a brick. Alright? It hurts. But anyway, Kyle's still running. He never looked back at that. Right after that, dude in the background pops off a couple shots. Unrelated, not even walking their direction, but close. Behind him, pops off a couple of shots in the air. How does he know Rosie, that's already threatened his life, doesn't have a gun? He don't know this guy. Alright. And gunshots at close distance like that are loud. Loud enough to where, and sharp enough to where the sound can be bounced around and you'll think it's right there on you. So what's he do? He spins around and lights Rosie up and immediately stops to help and call 911. He was going to help, but somebody beat him to him. And then the crowd started gathering around. He takes off running again. And this is where idiot number 2 and 3 pick up chasing him. And idiot number 2 and 3 are hot on him. Well, idiot number 4, the one with the gun, meets him coming that way. And 2 and 3, they're hollering, get him, kill him, beat his ass, fuck him up, kill him. Idiot number 4, the one who got shot in the arm, he's like, what'd he do? You know, he might have actually been a decent guy who was trying to prevent a mass shooting or something, you know. He don't know what's going on. He wasn't there. He didn't see it. He heard it, but he didn't see it. So, but anyway, I'm not passing judgment on him. All right. He might have been a stand-up dude. I don't know. But he starts chasing Kyle. Well, idiot number 3 catches up, hits him in the back of the head, knocks him down, or trips him and hits him and knocks him down. Kyle has the sense to land on his ass instead of messing up his gun. Spins around, points the rifle at idiot number 2. And idiot number 2 is like, fuck this, I'm out. You know, if I could, I'd cut in SpongeBob right there, but I can't. You know, fuck this shit, I'm out. Idiot number 3, skateboard dude, fucking wannabe Tony Hawk, starts wailing on him with a skateboard with one hand, 2 hands one time, and snatching at his rifle with the other. The only thing that saved his life that night was a sling. Alright? And a very strong clip. And no, I'm not talking about the magazine. I'm talking about the clip that held the sling on. Anyway, that's all that saved him that night. Because even though he was wailing on Kyle with a skateboard, an adult-sized skateboard, not a one you had when you were 7. I'm talking about something that's like 2.5 feet long with metal, what they call trucks on there, or the axles, or whatever you want to call them. That part's metal. And it's heavy. And he's getting hit in the head with it. All he's got on is a hat for protection. He could have killed him very easily. So Kyle finally regains some control of the gun and plop, plop. 2 in the chest. Or 1, 2. Anyway, one of them was a heart shot. Dude walked 30 feet and died. Idiot number 4, and the reason he's still an idiot is because he was there. Idiot number 4 comes up on him with a gun. Levels the gun on him. Kyle puts the AR on him. Dude's like, he's still got a hold of the gun. And he starts backing away. Somebody, if I remember right, somebody distracted Kyle for a second. And the gun came down, or Kyle's gun came down, and dude leveled his pistol, got a bead on Kyle. Kyle whips around and pop, put one in his bicep. This kid, who is still in high school, wears glasses, or he wore glasses in his Facebook pictures before they took them down. He may have had contacts in, but I doubt it because they're not cheap, or they weren't then. He may have had them in, he may not have, but he wears glasses. All right. It's dark because the idiots have smashed the street lights. And he went there to kill people. Let me tell you something. My AR-15 came from the store, brand new, in the box, with a 30-round magazine. He had 30 rounds to kill people with if that's what he came there for. That's not why he was there. He probably didn't spend half that magazine. Not even that much. Like 5 or 6 rounds at the most. Alright, I ain't counted them, but you know. Because he was accurate at night with blurred vision. The first guy was a very imminent threat. He got lit up 3 or 4 times. The second guy, actually he did shoot at the second guy, but he missed. It went off in the air and scared him away. I remember that one. The one that kicked him, idiot number 3, I think it was. Yeah. And, no? I don't know, I have to watch it again, but either way, he deserved getting shot at anyway. Kicking him in the freaking head. Hello? Probably with some shoes he just stole. But he deserved getting shot at. Especially Skateboard Boy. He deserved getting shot. He was a threat. And idiot number 4, he damn sure deserved getting shot at because he had a gun. But the only reason he was able to only wound him is because he had the ability to take aim at that point. The fact that he put a 5.56 through a piece of meat like that, and he wears glasses and didn't hit nobody else, he hit no non-threats. And when he was done, he got up and he continued to run. Running the whole time. He went straight to the police, who he had already called. And when he got there, his rifle was slung across his chest anyway. So he took his hands off his rifle and put him up and walked through the police line. The only reason they didn't bust his ass right then, right there, like they normally would in a self-defense shooting. Yeah, they take your gun and they take you. is because on account of all those other fuck boys and girls and idiots, they didn't have time. That's the only reason. They didn't have time to mess with him. He was leaving the area. He was no longer a concern. That's the only reason they didn't get him right then. But I'm going to go ahead and turn up a drink. And no, I'm not driving. I'm in the car, but I'm not driving. But I'm going to go ahead and turn up a drink for Mr. Rittenhouse. And if he ever makes his way down to Clay County, Alabama, you're welcome to join me. All right. So here you go. And y'all take it easy, have fun, and be safe out there. Bye.